Welcome to Still Talking Uncut. I'm your host, Big Easy, joined by Master Distiller Sean Rigsby. In the top right-hand corner, Mr. The Master sitting in. Welcome, welcome. Our boy, Uncle Joey, welcome to the show. He's the newest host on the panel. I like to listen to him. Give
but the
Sean
one with
shit.
the most experience.
Yeah, Uncle Joey's run more liquor, and 3 out of the 4 of us sitting here this year. All right, guest of honor, my man, all the way down from Northern Ohio on the lakes, from Lake Erie Distillery. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the
I'll
show.
tell you what, man, I'm doing great. Love to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
It's an awesome time. I'm just glad Uncle Joey suggested to have you on. I think we wanted to have you on before, but that's why we passed scheduling duties off of Sean to Uncle Joey. So if you want to get on the show, you could get on.
Don't ask me anymore. Can't help you out.
you just message Uncle Joey. We'll get you on.
Yeah, get a hold of me. We love to get people on.
Yeah, we want to be backed out 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
I'm down for that. So anyways, Fred, we appreciate you giving us your time, man. We first met Fred, not this year at Farm to Bottle, but last year at Farm to Bottle. And, I walk in and it was like, I think it was like 10 a.m. and on Friday morning, and he's like, "Hey, you want to try some vodka?" And I'm like, "This motherfucker must know me. He must know me."
But it's never too early to drink. I don't understand those people say it's too early to drink. I look at my watch and say, "Well, I'm awake. It's time."
My eyeballs are open, and especially when you're in an event like Farm to Bottle.
Farm to Bottle.
Oh man, it's just a good time.
Yeah, well, Big Easy, I was the one that stood out from everybody else, right? Because I came in with, that fancy polo on with my name embroidered on it, okay? And you guys are down there and your jeans cut off and your sleeveless shirts, and I look like an anomaly down there.
It's just, this is the first year, so Farm to Bottle the first year was really raw. It was super raw.
Classed it up, Fred. That's
the
for
first
sure.
year.
You brought some class.
Like you said, you got moonshiners in there. They all got big beards, and me. It's summertime, so I got on cargo shorts and a sleeveless shirt, and there's fellers with overalls on, no shirt under them. And
yeah,
I think old Tim Johnson was there.
Yeah,
years actually, I think.
And like I said, Fred's down there, and he's got his polo on. He looks nice. You know what I'm saying? He's also down in the end where he was down there by Jeff the Creed. You had him over there, and so they sectioned us off a little bit. It was like first class and economy. Like, you want economy, you come over here where the moonshiners are. If you want first class, you go over where Fred is. But
as the day progressed, I ended up more now where you guys were than where I was.
Hey, where a good time was.
That's right, man. I just put my wife in charge up there.
Oh yeah, here you give out samples. I'm hanging out with the boys.
There you go.
So it was a great time. And I remember because you came down, I had that. We had it was an 8-jar rig sitting there with a barrel, and you're just like, man, that thing's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then and you're like, oh well, I make this. Was it? I think it was a ghost. Did you have a ghost whiskey then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was like, I make this ghost whiskey, and I'm like, tell me your process. And I kind of figured what it was, but when you started talking, I believe you was talking about the zombie yeast and so I'm like, nice. And we got another feller that rolls like that. He's actually in here. That's a zombie yeast feller.
Okay, yeah. I'll tell you, it's one of those that ghost whiskey is up here. You can't get moonshine up here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, they put their $50 on a rock, but nothing ever comes back to them. So the ghost whiskey goes well. And it's nothing more than a 5-grain, toasted grain, unaged whiskey. Elevated moonshine's all it is.
Yeah. In our mind, right, it's just moonshine.
Yeah.
It's clear it's moonshine.
Yeah. Of course, I pay the taxes now. So, if the feds are out there, I pay my taxes on it. We're good.
So where did the idea of ghost whiskey come from?
It actually came from a guy down in Kentucky, down in Bedford, Kentucky. Guy's name is Frank. In fact, there was a picture of him on our Facebook from the last Farm to Bottle. And met up with Frank on Instant Messenger. Guy's incredible. Gave me some hints on things, straightened some things out, really put me on the right path. So I owe a lot to Frank. But it was his recipe, and then I just took it to the next level, modified a little bit.
You make it your own,
Yep.
Make it my own. That's what you do, right? You make it your own.
And hey, great play on the zombie yeast by naming it Ghost Whiskey.
Yeah.
Great play. All right.
Hey,
So
drink up enough of it, you are a zombie.
yes, been there.
So you said that was a 5 grain?
5 grain, all toasted grain. So it's corn, wheat, rye, barley, and oats.
Oh, I bet
Nice.
that's delicious.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. And you guys had it. You were down at the farm to bottle.
Yep. It's really good, man. It really is.
Yeah, each one of those grains present themselves one after the other. You can taste every grain as it goes across the palate. The only thing I will tell you, it is a pain in the ass to make, so it doesn't get muddled.
And you're correct. You can taste each one. It runs all across your palate. It's wild. It really is.
Yeah, it's a super cool thing.
Do you step mash that by chance? Or no, just straight?
No. Yeah, it's a combination of, we do a couple of things. We run the mash through by itself, and then we come back and we do a little bit of fortifying with it. With the wheat, we bring the wheat back in because it tends to get lost in the rest of the mash.
Yeah, wheat's really light, and it can definitely. It's easy to get lost when you have strong grains, especially you having 4 other grains in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll run 100% wheat run, which gives you virtually no yield at all.
Yeah, flavor. Now, are you using a white wheat or a red wheat? Using a winter?
Winter wheat. Yeah, we use winter wheat and we use a German malted barley.
Nice.
Not to revert back or anything, but we kind of did jump over, I think, what Easy was about to get to.
I was. I took a week off, so now I'm messed up. So
Imagine that.
I was excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I watched Ohio State win a chip last week, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there you go.
It was a good time over here.
It's not the only one Ohio State's ever won.
No, I mean, what they've won at least 3 in the last 50 years. So, so what's drinking on? Uncle Joey, I saw you had something brown in the glass down there. What is that?
That came from a guy down in North Carolina. He gave it to me at Farm to Bottle. I think he said it was just some support shine that he aged.
Old Bennett.
Yep.
Mr. Hollywood.
That's about all I got left, man. I've been saving it, but I've been sipping on it at the same time, man. It's a good jar.
Yeah, Bennett makes an eye bourbon. Every time I go down there, they're always like, "Hey, bring me dextrose. Bring me dextrose." I'm tossing 300 pounds in the car every time I go see them. So, Fred, what you drinking on over there? So you got something nice in the glass?
Yeah, I'm drinking my 7-year straight bourbon.
Now, you aged that for 7 years?
Yeah, we aged it for 7 years, 53-gallon jar, 4 American oak barrel toasted ends. Sits out back behind my building in 40-foot high cube shipping containers.
What level char you got on that barrel?
4.
We do 4.
Didn't you
4?
listen, Uncle Joey? He just said it.
He said 4. Man,
Yeah, that's okay. I've got employees here. I'm used to repeating.
His shoes are on.
Apparently, you have old employees if they're like Uncle Joey.
Well played. Y'all missed me.
What about you, Easy? What are you drinking?
Pear brandy.
oh, nice.
So, old Fred and Chris at Burnout Winery was like, "Man, I got 5 gallons." It was like 6-7 gallons of pear hibiscus wine that does not taste like pears at all. And I was like, "Man, I'll turn that into a fine brandy."
I've never had a.
There you go.
He said, "Can you make it taste like pears again?" Like, yes, I can. And so, like, I built a thumper for this little 5-gallon rig I got, and I built a gin basket, and I got some pear extract, and I used an infuser in my thumper, and I infused the pear into it, and I ran it through. I pulled one of his hibiscus bags he had in his wine, out and hung it in my gin basket. And man, when it came off the still, that hibiscus is real strong on the nose, real pungent. And it's not until you proof it down and let it aerate that it really mellows out, and that pear shines through really nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Good.
And so Saturday I took the jars down to because they set up down at Second. There's a Second Street Market down in downtown Dayton, right on Webster Street, and it is just it's a market. Like you walk in and there's all these vendors and everything. Well, Burnout Winery, they go down there and they set up and they sell bottles and stuff. And so I took them these jars and I'm like, here's y'all's jars. I didn't proof them. I didn't aerate them. They are how they came out because they had asked me a lot of, they're new. They're intrigued about distilling. So they ask a lot of questions about, how things change. Like we all know when we're running, the flavor profile changes as you run. And I wanted them to be able to take each jar and set it up and go through it. And I was like, hey man, there's a jar with a money sign on there. That's the drinking jar. But now one of them grabbed the 150 proof jar, man, and he took a swallow of that, set his ass on fire. And I was like, hey, sometimes you got to learn by fire, So like, if it says 150 on it, you skip that jar and go down to the one. Like if there's ever a money sign on a jar that I got, that's the good one. That's the best one. It's the money. So, but yeah, I was real fortunate they asked me to turn in a little bit of brandy for them, so it was
very
good
cool. Very cool.
Oh, I see the boss.
Boss.
The boss. Sean's in trouble. So,
what you got over there, Matt? What you got? What are you sipping on?
Yeah.
Well, I found that in the back of the fridge. I thought it was gone, but it's black cherry. I won't say where that come from.
Oh, I made that. that was
I thought it was all gone. I was digging through there. I was like, whoo.
That black cherry. So I made this black cherry mix. That black cherry fermented in the jars. Because I let it macerate on the counter too long, and it was in the middle of the summer, and it picked up a wild yeast, and it started fermenting in the jars, swelled the jars. I had to take it, put sorbate in it, back sweeten it, so it's more like a back sweetened wine now than anything. That thing was a trip. So
funny story to that. I'd been over. We went somewhere. I got all the way home, come around the corner of the house, and hear a boom. Wife says, "What was that?" And I'm like, "Well, it didn't sound good." It blown the whole lid off one of these jars in my back seat.
I gave Matt a loaded jar. You're welcome, Matt. Dog messing with the cats. So, Fred, man, tell us how you got started. Let's go all the way back to 1906 and give us the rundown. I
don't know if you guys have time now, man. How long's the show?
As long as you want it to be, Fred.
All right.
We all got several full jars, so
I'm off till Thursday.
You know what? I've got. I think I've got 500 gallons of mine out back, so I'm good.
Yeah, we're good.
We're going for a while.
So yeah, when did you fall in love with making alcohol? When did you stumble upon it, follow it? However.
Okay, so we gotta go way back now. We're gonna go back 40 plus years. Okay, so I started my first company, which I still have next door to my distillery here. It's International Industrial Machine Tool Sales of EDM consumables, a very niche market. Started that. This goes back into the late 70s, 80s when you can make a sales call. First thing you do, you end up at a bar, you have a liquid lunch, scotch and water. That was my thing, right? So we did that for a while, and then we switched over to bourbon because it was a little bit cheaper and easier to get. So after having this business for 40 years, I'm an outside sales guy. I like to talk to people. You know that from me, farm to bottle, man. I'm all over talking to people. I'm sitting there, I'm pushing paperwork, I'm answering emails, I'm bored out of my mind. My son's been with me about 20 plus years. So I said, listen, I want you to take care of the business for a while. I'm not sure what I want to do. Maybe I want a different job. Maybe I want to bring another product in, not really sure. So at the same time, my wife wanted to go to Florida So we decided to drive to Florida because she like stopped at the flea markets and the cheese houses and all of those kinds of things. So partway through Ohio, we decided to make a distillery tour out of it. But now my wife doesn't drink, so that's the important part of this whole story.
Driver.
So we just, for 2 weeks, I had a designated driver, man. So what we did is we decided we were only going to go to distilleries that had 6 or less employees. Now, at the time, I had no intention of starting a distillery, but my background is science and engineering, and that process just fascinates me. I had my first chemistry set at 7. I had my biology set at 9. I was one of those that read encyclopedias for fun. I was a blast. You should have hung around with me back then. So we get down to Florida. We do our thing. We come back up here. I'm still not sure what I want to do, but I go to a local distiller up here, and I order a bourbon. Girl on the other side of the bar says, "What do you want to mix with it?" I'm thinking, well, maybe an ice cube at best. Guy sits down beside me. He orders a bourbon, his first time there, and he's belly aching about this thing. And I will tell you, this bourbon, they should have changed their name to Paint Thinner Company. It was that bad. Okay, this was the worst distiller you've ever had. And he's belly aching about how you have to go to Kentucky. Nobody in Ohio can make a decent bourbon, on and on and on. So I'm driving back home, and this is where stupidity and ego collide. I said, I can do that. And that was in 2016. And that's how we got started. To me, this is just a giant chemistry set out back.
Essentially. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it ain't no different than, what Sean does if he's, whatever the hell, he sends me pictures that he acts like he's doing where, he's separating shit in chemistry lab. I'm like, bro, you're just faking it.
Yeah.
You're just faking it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we started out with just bourbon in 2016. So we didn't sell our first bottle of alcohol until November of 2021.
Oh, wow.
Okay. The cool thing is because I have the business on the other side, it could let me play here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that one continued to operate.
And
so
did it take you a while to get open? Like, were there a shit ton of hoops and just took forever for you to finally open the doors? Man. So that's the same thing Ben's is running through, man.
So let's see. Yeah, what do we got? We got, the feds, right? They got to do their thing. And then the state has to come in at least 6 times and complain about something before it's right.
At least.
Okay.
We've heard those stories.
Yep. Then local has to come in because they got to make sure they even want you in their area. And then the fire marshal's got to come in, make sure you're not going to blow up the city or burn down something. Mm-hmm. And then we get the FDA coming in to make sure, because alcohol is a food. And then the local health department before you get the okay to go. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
But here you are.
Welcome to Ohio.
And the paperwork that I do today every month for the feds is still a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Welcome to Ohio. Hey,
yeah.
It'll make it easy. I know, Benson's getting close, so I'm looking forward to when, good luck, Bence. Keep trucking along, buddy.
Yeah, Firehouse Shine. We can't
Mr.
wait.
Corn Liquor?
Yes, sir.
Corn liquor, Brandy?
When you first got into it, what was your still that you was like, man, this is what I'm going to learn on?
So the first one I got, when I first started this, it was going to be a hobby, right? So I picked up a 5-gallon Chinese still on Amazon for $119.
Oh, those stainless bever.
Okay, put that underneath the turkey burner.
Was it the 3-pot or the football column?
No, I got the 3-pot, man. I went for the big thing.
Nice.
Okay, so we ran that for, I don't know, about a week and a half. And, again, the process intrigued me. We're making some pretty good shit.
Yeah,
so then we upgraded to...
At least you think it's good because you don't know what to compare it to.
Exactly.
As far as home raw right out of the still. Like, I remember... It was good
to me. I don't know.
You damn right. And that's all it is. You're like, hey, this is good to me. I'm getting fucking hammered.
That's it. Had a great time. We're down here in the truck pit distilling. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. So from there, we went to a 26-gallon reflux. And that worked really well. We made some stuff. People liked it. So we went to a 100-gallon plate still. And then we went to a 150-gallon reflux, another 150-gallon reflux, a 1,280-gallon mash tun, and 2 630-gallon glycol fermenters.
Wow.
This is all in the distillery, correct?
Yeah, it's all
Okay.
right behind me.
Are you running jacketed stills?
Yes, I am.
Imagine. Are you running that off steam or oil?
I run on oil. Yeah, they're oil jacketed. We run them on electrics up here.
Nice.
Yeah.
You
And then we
guys
have
are- how far are you from the lake?
if I stand on my roof, I can see it.
Nice. It ain't hard to miss, man. The first time I rolled up there and saw the lake, I was like, "It's an ocean."
Yeah.
You're like, "Yeah,
Might
it's
as
an
well
ocean."
be.
Yeah, so we're probably, I don't know, 4 miles, 5 miles from the lake.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Road trip.
that's how we got to where we are. So we can run about 1,200 gallons of mash a week.
Is that what you have on a normal week? You have about 1,200 rolling?
When we first got started loading up barrels, we did. We kind of slowed down a bit now. We probably run 600 gallons a week now.
Now, do you run certain days, certain things, or you run everything every day, or you?
Yeah, we
designate-
basically run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for cleanup, anything we don't have, or barrels that are too hot to put the yeast in, and then Friday is cleanup day because we do tours on Saturdays.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody wants to come in and see a distillery.
Yeah, people love to see cool shit. You know, like
They don't understand it, but yeah.
no. I've been on distillery tours to where the person giving the tour didn't
Don't
understand it
even know.
either.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
It's like,
Yeah.
dude, you got to have some, like it's hard sometimes. But so out of all the things you make, what's your best seller?
Dill pickle vodka.
Dill pickle vodka.
My wife
Yep.
loves that.
Now,
It's
see,
tasty.
I got to try the Bloody Mary mix he had going on over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm talking. It was 10 a.m. Friday, and like he must know that Big Easy doesn't say no to free drinks. And and he's like, try this,
Yeah.
this, and then
Big Easy. I didn't see anybody saying no to free drinks that day.
no, it doesn't matter what it is. You could be like, hey man, this is the plague with no antidote. If it's in a mason jar, I'm probably taking a hit of it. I'm
At
just
least
saying,
once.
I'm easily roofied, but I'm hard to carry, so you have to weigh your options. And one of the most intriguing things was when you was telling me about your rum, and you told me one of the processes you used that was very intriguing to me, that isn't highly I guess
Used.
well, it's not highly used, but also it's not a lot of people when they hear things like this, they're like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you would like to tell us about this
Yeah,
amazing
so-
process that you do with your rum, please do.
Yeah, my amazing process. So first thing we have to do is go back to Jamaica and how they make traditional rum in Jamaica. Okay, and it's all
Go
molasses
there, yeah.
based, and everything comes out of a dunder pit. Okay, and a dunder pit is a wonderful thing. It's where all the extra mash goes in, what's left over from the run goes in, vegetables, lunches. One of the things I did find is the secret ingredient in the dunder pit: goat's head. Got to have a goat's head. Okay.
Gotta have a goat's head.
Got to have a goat's head, man. That is like the special ingredient in a dunder pit.
If you ever go watch the old videos of traditional, real deal Jamaican rum in Jamaica, if you can find the real videos, you will see a goat's head in a barrel, buried in the ground, and you're just like, that's disgusting, but
So-
intrigued at the same time.
The
Like,
question is, what do you get for them? Because I could probably I could invest some money on one.
you ain't even got to
Throw
buy them
11 of them.
at any time. We can roll by.
Do a little
Sounds
exporting
old
a goat's
place.
head down in Jamaica. Well, see, now
John
here's the
said-
problem.
John
We
said,
can
say
get one out of
less.
the yard anytime they're running
It's-
free.
Is the flavor that they get in Jamaican rum in Jamaica is actually from botulism bacteria. Okay, so when they do the distillation, of course, it kills the bacteria, but the flavor the bacteria puts into the mash is what carries over into the rum. So now you come up here into the States, and the FDA frowns on using botulism as a flavoring ingredient, and it isn't listed on the TTB list of approved ingredients. So you have to come up with some way of getting that same flavor without killing people. because if you kill people, they don't come back. They don't come back. There's really not not
Yeah.
repeat business.
Now,
You
is
don't
there
sell a
any
lot of
fear?
liquor that way, Fred.
No, you really you do one time.
One
Is,
time.
is there any fear of botulism transferring during distillation?
No,
It's no,
absolutely not.
So
Now,
like it's
just
one
to
of
be
those
clear,
things-
I don't use botulism in any of my processes. Okay, no botulism here, and don't. I don't need the FDA coming and doing a search.
Yeah. we're just talking about traditionalism, like how
Yeah.
and I attribute it to sort of like how a lot of guys they invite lacto infections into their corn mashes just to try to give it that twang, that fruity twang that ain't there. So I can see how using that type of organism can help really impart those flavors. And dude, it's a dirty process in Jamaica, and it's wild. Like for anybody listening, man, go watch how they do things in third world countries. Go watch videos of how these third world countries do what they do. It's wild and it's amazing. You're just like, holy shit.
Hey, I watched the video where the ladies chew up the fruit and then spit it in the bowl. And they bury the bowl underground and they wait so long, they come back and then they drink it.
They make a wine. So they're just using natural yeast and enzymes in their
enzymes in the mouth.
To break it down and to make wine. I believe they did that on Naked and Afraid. John Benz. They did it on Naked and Afraid, two of them, where they took fruit and they used their spit and they made some wine, and they came back like a week or two later and they was they got drunk off of it while it was on there. So that was one of the first times I learned that you could use your spit to make liquor.
Yeah, which we don't either. Okay,
yeah.
We don't do that up here.
I'm pretty sure that's what Matt uses. I've tasted what he throws out.
Well, hey,
Shots
if he runs
fired.
it 5 times, it's good anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but what we do is we put a non-harmful bacteria into the mash to create that same kind of flavor profile.
Nice. That's they said really cool process. It's not something that you hear all the time. So anytime you hear something new, I'm intrigued, as to why, how, the benefits of it. So
yeah, we're one of 6 distillers in the country that makes Jamaican rum.
Nice.
Because it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So what all do you guys make there?
So our product line, we'll start with the clear liquors. So we do a vodka that's made from whey, a byproduct of the cheese process. We take that vodka and we infuse it with non-GMO, fair trade, dark roast Brazilian coffee beans, and we get our espresso vodka. We take that vodka, we infuse it with dill pickle, and we get our dill pickle vodka. Yeah, it's a pretty rare thing. Then we go over. We take. We also have a gin. It's a 5 botanical gin, 5 herb botanical gin. Then we have our claim to fame. That's going to be our bourbon. It's a very traditional, straightforward 6.5 year plus barrel aged bourbon. We take the bourbon out of the barrel. We fill it with that same distillate, and we age it another 2.5 years in the used barrel. We get American whiskey. We take the American whiskey, infuse it with a little bit of local maple. We get our maple whiskey. We infuse it with a little bit of cinnamon. We get our cinnamon whiskey, not a Fireball, not a Jack Fire. This is drinkable. And and then we have our rum, our Jamaican rum.
Nice.
That's a hefty lineup.
I think I ran the gauntlet of farm to bottle, everything you had, and there's a few of them I'm not a fan of, but they were damn delicious.
I think I was the first one Friday morning to run the gauntlet when he was there 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I'll try anything. I don't necessarily have to like it, but I will try it to flavor it and taste it. And man, you make a nice product up there. Your whole lineup, man. I imagine those people up there are real happy to have you up there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we have a good time with it. It's one of those that if you make a good product, people will find you. So we have people drive up here from everywhere to pick up a bottle of what we have. Now we're in 145, 147 OHLQ stores now.
You're in Springfield. We've got you in our liquor store.
Yeah.
Are they really? I did not know that.
Yes. Well, I think it's Wineworks and maybe the Kroger in Urbana might have it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone well. People are asking for it. Stores are bringing it in.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing for something that started out as a hobby. And the really cool part, I mean, the really cool part about this is for 40 years, I went to work every day and I worked. Since I started this, I haven't worked a day in my life, man. This is a joy.
I couldn't imagine waking up every day and distilling liquor. Just a
Sounds
little
like
3
running
gallon. I've
liquor
been
with
running a
John.
garage. I'm out there smiling like a freaking kid on Christmas morning, watching this thing bubble and percolate. I couldn't
Yep.
imagine getting up every day and that being my job, man. I have a blast doing my little hobby. So yeah, that'd be pretty damn cool, man.
It is. It is. It is. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Everybody should have a job that they like as much as I like this. Not to make you guys jealous or anything.
No, absolutely.
Just a
We're all
little.
absolutely
Yeah,
jealous.
just a little bit.
Just a little.
Well, hell,
One
Matt, you only
day.
got a year till retirement, don't you?
I
I'm hoping.
I thought he was working on a double retired pension already.
So I see you have like live entertainment and stuff up there as well, Fred.
Yeah, we do. In fact, we Saturday we had one of the guys that's going to be on The Voice was up here performing for us.
I saw that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is really cool. We got a couple of guys that are just phenomenal that are regulars that come in here. And then, of course, we do, I'm sure you guys have it down there too, Cousin May's Lobster Food Truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're here the fourth Friday of every month.
That's a
We,
good truck.
yeah, they're amazing. We had them for the last 18 months. We've got them scheduled out all the way through 2025.
Nice. So do you have entertainment on the regular certain nights of the week, or how does that?
No, we only do it a couple of times a month. The clientele we have, because we're, and you guys haven't been up here, so you know what? Hang on, let me turn
We're
this thing
coming.
around and show you what my lounge looks like. Okay.
Nice. Hey, how far are you from Great Lakes Brewery? Because when I was younger, I used to drink a lot of Great Lakes beer.
12 miles.
Nice. That might have to be a little trip I make up there. Absolutely.
Okay, so
Nice.
that's our lounge area.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so we have a lot of people that come up here and that show up when we don't have entertainment, and we have people who show up when we do have entertainment. So it's basically two different client sets. So we try to take care of both of them.
I know all the pictures I've seen on your Facebook page. Looks like you guys have a good time up there.
Oh, we do have a good time, man.
Yeah.
We do have a
I
good
know
time.
the American Whiskey Boys went up there and they ranted and raved about, the hospitality you showed them and the good time that you had with them. And, it might be a trip that we might have to make as well.
Yeah, I will tell you, those guys they were great guys. I love those guys.
Most of them are okay.
That Uncle Joe is a piece of shit.
Every podcast has one.
Yeah.
Hey, and some of them have. Well, yeah, they passed him along.
I just get passed along. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
somehow I ended up with two of them.
Damn it, Matt.
FML.
Hey, I'm not a hand-me-down like that guy.
What?
I got kicked out.
You have anything new that you're working on that you're looking to come out with? Are you looking to venture over into sipping creams or anything
Well,
like that?
we were working on a bourbon cream. I thought I had
I like
one
a
that
good
was.
bourbon cream. I'm not a fan of sipping creams, but I like a good bourbon cream.
Yeah.
I would tell you what, I had one. We did our tests up here with it. People said it was amazing. When can we get it in a bottle? I thought it was really, really good. And then I was down in North Carolina and I stopped by Southern Distilling and I took a sip of their bourbon cream, threw mine out, start all over.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
It's one of those, this is, I guess it's my engineering science background, but if I don't have the best, why am I going to make it?
I get that. A perfectionist.
Yeah, it really is.
And
Well,
So we're
when
working-
you've got such a good lineup, I get it. You don't want to throw something subpar out with your already kick-ass lineup. So,
Right.
yeah, I get it. I get it.
I can imagine you probably have to buy a tote of cream base to make it
Yeah.
worth your time. You got to buy a tote, and it's like, well, damn, man. And then I would imagine that tote has a shelf life. It's not like a G&S clear liquor that you can sit and
Right.
keep forever. Like, it has a shelf life. And that was one of the things old Chris Lewis was talking about with his creams. Like, man, I get it in, I got to use it. So,
Well, for somebody starting out where we're just experimenting, I'm $7,500 for a toad.
That's a lot of money.
And then you've got a 6-month shelf life on it to do something with it.
yep.
That's a
So-
lot of cream to work with when you're trying to figure out what the
Yeah.
formula is going to be on it.
And then if you run into any hiccups with the state or anything like that, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm out. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'd imagine that's a definitely a venture that you got to know that you're going to knock it out of the park. So
That's it. And it's one of those that, I'm not sure how big the actual consumer volume would be for it to go, and because we're running a little short here of
Yeah.
time and space. So I don't know if I want to move away from my distilling and grain distilling to get into something like that. But we're always playing around. You never know. I've got jalapenos we've got out here that we've had in neutral spirits now for a year and a half. We're going to see what we do with a vodka or whiskey with jalapenos on it.
Oh yeah.
Bring that farm to bottle.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what Dan said too.
We'll taste test for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll let you know. So, are you coming back to Farm to Bottle this year?
Oh, damn, man. I am.
Well, I had to hear you tell everybody. You're like,
Listen,
hell
I
yeah, I'm
asked
going
him
to
the
be
same-
there.
I asked
So-
him the same question. I think I got the same response. He said, I'm going to be there.
Hey, so y'all want to try some of Fred's liquor, man? Y'all go ahead and come up to Farm to Bottle this year.
Yep.
I believe it's the mid to end August 20th
September.
and 20. No, yeah, September. You're right. September 20th, 21st. He was talking about having it in August, but yeah, it is September 20th and 21st. That weekend, somewhere in there. It's 2 days. Come ready, party, have a good time. Swap stories, meet a lot of people, get a lot of people interested in your craft. It's an awesome place. So
Yeah.
and it's our Ohio Moonshine Festival.
Yep.
We definitely going to play it up. And
Yeah, I told Dan after the last one, man, the first one was a little bit wild. The second one, he reeled it in just a little bit too much for me. I felt like I was up here at a bourbon tasting in Cleveland.
you should have came over to the campground afterwards.
You should have been the campground.
Well, hell, nobody invited me.
Hey,
Fred.
you're always invited.
We will
Like,
make sure we where everybody's at next year.
There won't be an invitation. We will physically pull you into the
we're gonna
campground.
bring.
Yeah.
we'll bring the
I'm not
party to
sure
Fred.
that I may pull you in once you show me where it's at, man.
Yeah.
right out the double doors.
Yeah.
So you walk out, there's groups like, oh, there's a group of jars, there's a group of jars, there's
Yeah.
a group of joints.
Hey,
There's
and there ain't no
group of jars.
strangers in the campground, that's
Nope,
for
not at
sure.
all.
Yeah.
Well, I know right before we went on, I told the wife that we will be making a trip up to see you, Fred. I haven't been up that way in a while. How far are you from like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and that whole Cleveland area like that?
12 minutes.
Oh, yeah, you will see me before Farm to Bottle, Fred, I promise.
Yeah, we're just east of them. So
Shit.
yeah, absolutely, man.
I'll
Absolutely.
let you know. I'll give you a heads up. Make sure you're available and make sure you're around.
Okay. I will tell you though, I'm working on a special bottle for Farm to Bottle, not for distribution, but just for the guys down there.
Hey,
Okay.
you got to bring something great. I think the first year or last year I was like, Fred, man, I got this apple brandy I made. Take this.
Yeah.
I believe I gave you some apple brandy this year.
You did.
I think last year it was peach.
Yeah,
So
it didn't last long.
No, it never does.
It never does. It never
you got
does.
to you got to put a little bit of love into something you're going to share with your buddies.
That's it, man.
You want to be like, whoa, man, this is nice.
Yeah, so we're doing we don't do anything flavored coming off the still. So what I'm working on is something flavored coming off that still I'm gonna bring down with you guys. So we're working on a couple of different flavors.
like infused during the run flavors.
Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the pot,
Mhm.
okay, to a point that when I bring it through my still, it carries through.
Nice.
Okay. We've done some work on it. We've got some things that are pretty nice, but they're just not quite where I want them yet.
I have found like when
Now you're killing us.
when I did that apple brandy, I macerated, like I sorbated my yeast after, and then I macerated fresh apples into it for about 3 or 4 days before I ran the actual mash, and pulling that flavor, but not letting your yeast eat that fruit's a good way to help a mash get more flavor into it.
Mm-hmm.
That because you're stripping your flavor out no matter what. But
Yeah, you have to be over top on the flavor before you start running.
yes, the more flavor you can get into that, the better.
Yep.
And then, and I'm a fan. I like a thumper. I like an infuser on it. I like dump flavor.
Yeah, see, that's something we don't have thumpers on any of the stills that we use.
Do you have any gin baskets?
Oh yeah, we do a gin, it's a 5 botanical gin.
So your gin, is it a citrus gin? Is it more of an anise gin where it's more
It borders more towards the citrus side than the juniper.
nice?
I don't like a gin where the juniper is so up front you feel like you're chewing on a pine tree.
Yeah, I don't like black licorice, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
So
what we do, our gin is more on the citrus side, where the juniper's there because it has to be there to be gin, but it's more in the background and carries through.
Nice.
So we use juniper, grains of paradise, orris root, angelica root, lemon peel, and orange peel. We put we put that into the pot with the base. We let it sit for a day, and then we load up the gin baskets. Now I've got a 5-tier gin basket, so each of those botanicals has its own section in the basket.
So they're separate then.
So you put your stronger at the end. That way it doesn't have as much time in your vapor path.
No, I put the juniper right down at the bottom.
Okay, so you put your juniper first.
Yeah, juniper, grains of paradise, orris root, angelica root, and then we do the lemon and orange peel.
Nice.
Yeah, because what I have there is we've got, as the vapor comes up and condenses, it falls back onto the packets of the orange and the lemon, and it opens them up. And then as the vapors come back up through, it grabs that and carries it right through into the distillate.
Nice.
Now,
but that's an interesting smell during the run. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Well, go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's nothing better than the smell of corn sitting in a barrel fermenting, or corn in the mash tun cooking. Well, when you get that run going with like the gin and you get that flavors up in the air, the aroma, that's incredible. But I think the best is that because we keep all of our barrels in shipping containers, is you go out there in a spring morning and you open up those double doors and that sweet alcohol vapor comes out of that container.
Oh, that's smoky.
Get a little buzz off of it.
For 6 seconds, you are in heaven.
It's like freebasing barrels.
Yes,
It's freebasing barrels.
Coming home from work and then open up your door and just smelling mash, man.
Yeah,
it's just such a great smell.
Wife bitching, fucking house stinks. What's that smell? You're like, that's corn liquor right there, baby.
Corn liquor.
That's the money trip.
You damn right it is.
Especially when you put your barrel in the same room your furnace is.
Yeah. So it pulls the stank throughout the house.
Every room gets it equally.
I will tell you,
yay far from the furnace.
I'll tell you the thing I found that pisses my wife off more than anything else. Okay, when we did that Ghost whiskey the first year, it's a toasted steel cut oat that we use, right? And we couldn't find any way to toast this thing right. We tried it on a grill. We tried it on a flat top. I actually paid somebody to put it in an AI furnace to toast it. Couldn't get it done. The best way we found to do it is on a wok on a power burner in my kitchen on the stove.
You told us that story at Farm to Bottle. We were dying laughing.
Oh my God. When when you cook those oats, a couple of things happen. One, the whole house smells like toasted oats.
Mhm.
And if you're not a fan of that smell, it takes days to go away. The second thing is when oats toast, they pop. And they pop in places I didn't even oats could go. So
Sounds
my
about
wife
right.
is finding toasted oats 3 weeks after we're done with this. So
That's
this,
awesome.
oh yeah, yeah. Happy,
Someti-
happy camper.
Sometimes we get
Oh yeah.
we ruin our bit where we're allowed to do things inside, and then it's like you ain't allowed to do that in here no more. Like, bro, come on, man! Like, I bought the stove and I paid electric bill. I don't care. You ain't allowed to do that in here no more.
Yep.
Like,
It's
all
like-
right.
That's like finding banana mash everywhere, right, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that shit will explode everywhere. I got about your rum. What kind of molasses do you use for your rum?
We run blackstrap molasses.
The straight black strap.
Yeah, straight blackstrap. Third run of molasses.
Have you tried the food grade?
No, we haven't.
Oh man, that Caribbean black pearl food grade molasses is real nice. When you come at the part in the bottle, man, I'll have a jug for. I'll have a bucket for you to play with.
Okay.
5-gallon bucket of the little mash, so you can see what you like out of it, and you might like the flavor, the sweeter flavor out of that food grade as opposed to the black strap.
How about the sulfur content?
It's I don't think it's got sulfur. It's food. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, because I know that some of the stuff I looked at, the food grade stuff, actually had a bit of sulfur to it. Not a lot that it would bother anybody, but when you do, yeast doesn't like sulfur.
Oh, I know. This I want to say it doesn't have sulfur in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
love to try it.
Never not everybody that has used it. We've pushed it to a lot of people that since we discovered this nice high end food grade, and it's not much more per gallon as opposed to the feed molasses.
Okay.
So we'll
absolutely. I'll give it a try and then give you the finished product back, or some of the finished product back.
I'll try it.
Yeah, it all's not coming back to you, but
nice. How big is your distillery? Because it seems like you've got a fairly sized area.
Nah, man, I got a lot of stuff in a small space.
That's I see that a lot. Making the most out of what you got.
Yeah, because like I said, this thing started out, it was going to be a hobby. So when we put the first still in, it was like, well, that's all we're going to have. And then we put the next one in. It's like, well, that's all we're going to have. And then the third one, and then the fourth one, and then the mash tun and the fermenters. And it's like, okay, well, now I can't put anything else in because I have no room to put it.
So you run 4 stills? Is that, I was trying to count there, 4?
Yeah, 4 stills.
Nice.
2 mash tuns, and then 2 glycol fermenters. Along with when we do the bourbon, we don't use the glycol fermenters for the bourbon. We do 55-gallon plastic drums to ferment in, because I like to have that much control over that small amount. Again, I'm anal about that. So I want to make sure that we've got the right gravities, we got the right pHs, the yeast are doing exactly what they need to do. We can control the content. Because when you put it into a barrel, hell, it's 7 years later before you know if it was good or not.
Right. You just don't know. You could wait, and then it can be trash.
I'll tell you what.
What's your bourbon? What's the proof on that bourbon? I meant to ask you earlier. What's the?
Well, we have in the barrel, in the bottle.
Barrel. What do you put it in the barrel at?
118 to 120.
Nice, and it comes out at
118 normally is what we pull it out at.
Nice.
So we do 2 bourbons. We do a 90 proof bourbon, which is a nice traditional, straightforward, not going to hurt anybody kind of bourbon. And then every once in a while, you run across that barrel that is just that sweet barrel.
It's just
so
too
in
good.
all the,
too good.
I mean, the one when you pop the bung out, you go, that's the barrel. So in all the barrels we've had, we've only had 4 that to me justified what a barrel strength bottle should be.
In the cask.
Nice.
It's
So uncut, unfiltered.
Uncut,
Perfection.
unfiltered. It's still got some char in the bottle because it comes right out of the barrel into the bottle.
Ain't that wrong? That char don't hurt nobody.
No, not at
It's
all.
just flavor. It's just seasoning. It's
Well,
putting salt
yeah.
and pepper on your shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just
There you
seasoning.
go.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I find that just there's a lot of guys who do barrel strength bottles, and it could be any barrel they happen to have. They just open it up, dump it out of barrel strength, they call it a barrel strength bottle, and that's the big commercial guys. To me, if I'm gonna do barrel strength, it's got to be special. You're
Right.
looking for that vanilla in there. You're looking for that nice oak, smooth oak coming through, and you're looking for a
So-
lot of dark fruit on the end.
So your barrel strength, there's select barrels.
They are very select barrels. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. So how, like, when you're doing that process, like, how many barrels would you have that have come of age at the same time that you would have to go through and pick from? Do you have them staggered to where it's just you got this barrel and then this one, or do you have several that come of age and ready to go?
Yeah, so when we get into the barrel strength ones, in fact, we just had it happen last week. We opened a one that's going to be barrel strength. Sitting beside it was one that was it's going to be a 90 proof bourbon. It was a good bourbon, but it wasn't spectacular. Right beside it, a spectacular barrel. It's just luck of the draw, and we don't
Right,
open
right.
barrels until we're ready to bottle. So I don't know when my next really, really great barrel is going to show up until I open it, and there it is.
Nice.
So what you're saying, if we're up there and you got it on the shelf, you better grab it.
That's
Yes.
exactly it.
Yeah.
The last one we had out, we had 204 bottles came out of the barrel. It lasted a week and a half.
I saw you advertised that on Facebook, and you said it went quick. I saw that,
Gone, man. It's gone.
and that's awesome. That means you put out a good product.
Yeah.
We try. People tell me I do. And
I think there's 4 of us here on this TV right here that have tried all your stuff, and I think we all agree you put out some
I
good
appreciate
shit,
that.
man.
Without a doubt.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you do a good job, Fred.
What I like most is your approachability. It's like,
Oh,
let's talk
dude.
liquor. Let's shoot the shit. You remind me of one of us where we're just chilling, shooting the shit, and so that's thanks for being that way, Fred.
Yeah, for someone being on the other end, the legal end of it, you fit right in with the boys that you hung out with at Farm to Bottle. That was for sure.
Yeah,
the cool thing about that, and this made my wife nuts when we first got married. I came out of PA, Pennsylvania Dutch area, right? So it's one of those that I still go to theater. I got a washer, and my dog.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
And-
So you're
and you use a wash rag,
The
don't
yinzer in you.
Yeah, and she says, there's letters in what you're saying that aren't there. So
They're there. They're there.
So I tell people I'm as redneck as I was when I was 12. I just dress better now.
Yep. You're a well-dressed redneck. Absolutely.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, man.
At Farm to Bottle, we're gonna have a T-shirt for you without sleeves on it, man. You gonna fit
Ah,
right
there you go. There you go. I still go out and do my squirrel hunting.
Nice.
But no, it's one of those that I think that what you guys, when we were down at Farm to Bottle, I mean, what an amazing group of guys you are. Everybody was
Gray's
down there
awesome,
was just
man.
he is super cool. Super cool. Have you
I
been
think
over
we
to
all-
his man cave?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The Dan Cave is
there.
incredible.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. He has a little bit of everything.
I guess we're gonna have to
Yes,
crash the Dan Cave one day.
That's where I fell in love
Oh,
with that
dear.
Glens Creek OCD number 5 was in the Dan Cave.
Okay.
We
Okay.
just had him on from Glens Creek. That's a delicious bottle of bourbon, man.
Yeah, there's some really good bourbons out there.
Yeah,
really
there
good
really
bourbons
is.
out there. And then there's some that are just, they're mediocre, but they've got enough marketing hype behind them that people stand in
Yeah.
line for 3 hours to buy them.
I've tried 10-year-old bourbon that is just hot as shit, and it's like, dude, how is this so hot? It's 90 proof. Spent 10 years in a barrel, and this shit's like fucking gasoline.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yep.
like, this is a multi-million-dollar. People stand in line for this. Somebody stood in line for this bottle, and it ain't great. Like I don't get it, you know. Like you said, like if you're gonna do something, man, I want to do it. I want it to be the best, you know. Like I tried somebody's bourbon cream that was better. I dumped my shit out, you know. Like I got to be better, you know what I'm saying. I got to make the best product I can. So
Right,
and it's
Absolutely.
definitely something that we can tell when you hand us one of your jars, one of your bottles to try. So
yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have a jar for you when we get down to farm to bottle, man.
nice. I'm doing banana
Awesome.
brandy this year. It's I'm having banana brandy this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off the wall with something for you.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
Can't wait to try it. So
I'm
All right.
scared.
we kept everybody here long enough. Fred, we appreciate you giving us your Monday evening, man. Shooting the shit with us. It was a pleasure
appreciate it.
listening to you talk. Like I said, you're a master at your craft, man, and keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
If you're in the Ohio area, call your local liquor store, man. You might be able to get some of Fred's liquor. And
That's right.
If not, come to Farm to Bottle, September 20th and 21st. We're gonna be in Wilmington, Ohio.
Yeah.
Come on down. Everybody's gonna have liquor. It's gonna be a good time. So come try some.
Yeah, and you got to catch us early in the day because towards the end of the day, it's not much conversation going on.
Well, there's
Well,
plenty
there's
of conversation.
you
It's just a
can't
little,
understand what
little
they're saying.
slurred.
It depends on who it is. I know Bean had a good time.
Bean
of
had
us
the
might be
best
in it.
time.
Some of us might be in a zero gravity chair. You don't know.
Oh, don't worry. Sean's bringing his zero gravity chair.
I'm gonna have a hammock this year.
He's staying away from the. Oh, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. All right, y'all have a good night, man. Y'all take care. Love
Hey,
all y'all.
Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
See you next
Thanks,
Monday.
Fred. Thank you very
All
much.
good.
Who's the guest
All
next
right,
week,
man.
Joey?
We're having Bob Folk from the winery here in Springfield.
Nice. We got a local winery here in Springfield. We're gonna have him on next week. Sean's gonna have to go pick up some wine now. He don't want to because
Yeah.
that means
Now
what?
we'll probably be out there. He's got a little thing going on next Sunday. I think we're going to stop out there before the show.
Nice. So this Sunday.
No, actually be next. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this Sunday.
Yes,
Whatever.
this
Don't
Sunday.
know
We'll
who
see.
you
We'll
got
see
on
y'all.
next week.
I just broke Uncle Joey. Y'all have a good night. We love all y'all.